Hey ladies and gentlemen, my name is Alan with CorpNation. Welcome to CorpNation Nation. Don't forget to subscribe. Hey, I get a lot of questions. How do I start a business, or how do you start a business? I want to give you the basics, but I want to go just a little bit deeper so you know. And if you have questions, you can always email my team and go from there. But I'm a serial entrepreneur, started several companies, not only in several different states, but also in foreign countries. And I want to give you the basics. First of all, when it comes to the United States, you got to start with the idea. Okay? Obviously, you have something maybe you want to sell, you want to do a service, maybe you want to start some kind of restaurant, anything and whatever it is, you got to start with the idea. Secondly, you got to research that idea. That's important. You got to make sure in the area that you're at, or if you're going to be online, or if you're going to be in a location, a city, a town, whatever, you got to know what's your target market. Is the target market worth it? We have a publishing company, and in that publishing company, we realized that 73% of all readers across the United States of America tend to be female. That's how they skew. So we ended up writing a lot of books and taking in a lot of female-led books, and because it sells better, it helped us to get started and launched, and then we were able to write a variety of different other books, which worked out well. So think about target market. In other words, population group, the location you're at, you know, the culture, what's it like, who's there. You want to be able to appeal to them because you're bringing something of value to that community. Age is, what kind of age group are you reaching out to? Sometimes those things can affect the type of business that you're doing. So these are just some of the things you want to look at when it comes to research. The next thing you do, so when I start a business, so the other day I started a business in Hawaii, and the first thing I did is I built the website. That was the first thing. And then I secured the entity, the corporation, and then from there I secured sight unseen an office, because I didn't need to fly out there. I knew what I was doing, I know where I was going, I know what I was going to do. And then from there, bought an asset, let the corporation build its equity, and then from there leverage that equity to go get massive other stuff, and then flew out there and then began to do the work, hire the team, do all that kind of stuff. So it's not rocket science. You got this, we're here to help. So I always build the website first. I know that people think that's strange, but I do that. The next thing you want to do, which would be fourth, would be get that entity type, whether it's an LLC, an S Corp, a C Corp, a sole prop, or a managing trust that's going to oversee one of those. We can help with all those kinds of areas, but that's the next step you want to do. 5, make sure you have the certifications necessary, or go get them. When we were starting an insurance company, one of my sons, actually, we sent him to go get his certification and also to pass the state exam. So we sent him to a course, super easy. He passed it first try, and bam, he was able to add that so that we can sell different kinds of things like work comp and general liability insurance. So get the necessary certifications or degrees. 6th is make sure you have the city licenses, because when you begin to do business, even if you do it from home or you do it in an office or something like that, if it's going to be a location-based type business or service, you do need to have a business license within that city or wherever you're claiming to do work from to legally be able to do work in that city. Now, some of you are going to do things that maybe span outside of that city, where you're going to be physically on the ground, you know, boots on the ground, where you're going to be stepping into. So, for example, a contractor who does work in one city, but then migrates over to another city because they got another project. Well, are they going to have 2 different licenses? Yes. Can they get a county license? No. A county license does not cover all the cities. So if they work in 20 different cities, they're going to have 20 different business licenses within that particular city. So these are just some of the things you want to check into, and we actually can do that research for you if you need that. Obviously, you would jump into our website, CorpNation.com, and check that out. Now, the 7th thing here is some kind of workspace. Are you going to work from home? I personally recommend you don't use your work address whenever you file that sole prop, LLC, or corporation. Number 1 crime worldwide is identity theft, and when you put your address out there, everybody on the planet knows where you live. Get a virtual office. We do have those. You could use ours, get someone else's, totally fine, but just protect yourself. I've seen where people have started a home business and then people found out where their home is and they waited for the family to leave, went in and robbed it of over $100,000 in assets. You don't want that problem. So think about that if you're going to get that home office, right? Or get an office. Now, if you do get an office in a physical location, that city is going to require some inspections. You're going to have to get get a CUP, which is a conditional use permit, but there is a workaround that I think is the best solution if you want some space to work out of. You do a shared space. It's usually one of those groups. They have names like Premier or Regis or all these different kinds of communities where they got the building, they transferred it or transformed it into a variety of different offices and workspaces. They got the conditional use permit, and you're coming up under their conditional use permit, so you get to basically rent an office for an hour, a day, or a month. You figure that out with them. That's always a good solution, and so I started off that way in my first business, and it worked out fabulous. Okay, the 8th thing is funding. So you have to decide, are you going to raise capital? There's 3 types of capital. You could raise money as a loan that you're going to pay back to those people. You could raise money as a loan that can convert to equity for that particular person if they want to, and or you could just give away equity to the business. They own a portion of it. They give you a ton of money. There's another option, which would be a Kickstarter option, where people are just going to give. Maybe you're giving them a prize or some access to something special, but you don't have to pay them back. So there's ways to raise funding. So think about that. Or if you're going to be self-funded, maybe some family members are going to help you out. That's cool. That can work too. Some businesses take a lot more money, like a restaurant. You got to have the building, the chairs, you got to have all the equipment, all the licenses. So that could be a lot of money to get started. Whereas something like a construction business, you need a business license, a license to do construction, and say, for example, a few tools to get rolling, right? So not out of pocket a whole lot in that kind of business. So figure that out when you do your research, what you're going to need. The 9th thing is branding. People need to know who you are. They need to know where you are. They need to know what's going on and what you do. And so you have to do that as well. We do own a marketing and advertising company as well. And so you can look up those videos later. We'll put some links down below so you can go to that. Number 10 is marketing. Now, marketing is the key, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to grow a business in this year and in this decade, you got to promote, promote, promote. I cannot overemphasize that, okay? Because you're going to get people. If you need people to sustain your business by buying your product, well, then that ends up being your highest valued commodity, are the people. So you got to go get them. You got to chase them down. There's only 3 kinds of people you get: leads from generated from marketing, or you can get referrals and repeats. But you got to get those first initial contacts and first initial clients so you can convert them into repeats and referrals. The second thing, which is the golden chalice of all business, now that you're launched, you got to do follow-up, ladies and gentlemen. You follow up constantly. Maybe you've been part of one of those email threads or one of those things you clicked on in social media, and all of a sudden you're getting texts, you're getting emails. Hey, follow-up is key. The average person does not purchase from you or a business until they've been reached out to or touched 6 to 7 times. And you actually land on the 10th try, 10% of all the people who've ever called you or you've used or got a hold of through your marketing and advertising. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the top 10 key things. It's time to be that pioneer. I hope this was helpful. I hope this information really guides you into getting going and starting your business. I want to encourage you, as a seasoned entrepreneur who may be a little bit older than many of you that are here, we want to, number 1, offer our services as a resource to you to guide you and lead you. But number 2, I want to say this, and this is really personal. Hey, if you're going to do it, this could seem a little bit overwhelming, all these steps. Don't let it feel that way. You got this. You can do it. You can build a successful, thriving, growing business as an entrepreneur. I know you can. You can if you grow to go. Learn what you need to learn, study what you need to study, ask the right questions to the right people, and hey, we're the right people, all right? So give us a call. We'll talk to you soon. Hey, my name's Alan, serial entrepreneur. We look forward to helping you out. Have a great week. Bye.